For us to have a successful future through realistic conversations, Enterprise Trustees has specially designed this program just for you and I. I'm Ivy Wilson and I sit in as your host for today. Please do not forget to follow us on our social media handles to stay connected. Today's topic is going to be interesting, and I have some amazing people in the studio with me. From my left, we have
Smart Teacher Nixon.
Baba Simpson.
Auntie.
lady and gentlemen. Welcome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Adante, it's been a while.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've
yes,
been
yeah.
around. Yeah.
Baba,
Yes,
you're looking
please.
splendid.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Yeah,
you
smart.
so much.
You're also looking,
Thank
prepared
you.
for the festivities, I guess.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so for today's topic, it's going to be quite interesting, right? And the topic reads 2025 Goals or Gimmicks? Keeping it real with resolutions.
Goals or gimmicks.
Yeah.
Goals or gimmicks?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. It's very the goals or gimmicks makes it very interesting because when you are entering in the new year, there are lots of slogans around throwing this around my year of this, my year of absolute grace and all that. But the question is always, what are you doing to get that grace? What are you doing to get that thing that you are expecting? So it goes down to the question, keeping it real. Is it goals or gimmicks? Maybe at the end of the conversation, we'll get to know how you can set maybe realistic goals so that your resolution doesn't turn into gimmicks.
Okay.
I also believe that some people don't focus on the little things. They look at the bigger picture where they don't have the ability to even make it happen. So if I say I want to be the PA of the president of Ghana, how realistic is that for a New Year's resolution? Do you see? So that is where it comes in as goals or gimmicks. And what exactly should our resolutions be to make it realistic enough? That's what I think.
But what was your year, Dante? This year, what year did you have in your church?
Okay, I didn't go to church. That's why.
Hey, Adante.
Hey.
No, I prayed in the house. Yeah,
No,
I
but you
prayed in
should
the
know the slogan for your church.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around 2024, ABC, something like that.
In your church, Muslim.
Yeah, sure. But I think it was something around that.
He did not go to church.
He did
This
not go
is
to church,
evidence
that's
enough that he
Hey.
did not go
to
to
me on
church.
WhatsApp, so I
I
got
see.
everything.
So clearly, you realize that there are a lot of things that go on. Well, in my church, it was the year of God's power.
Hey.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
so then people start connecting with, this year God's power will
I
be
mean, similar
evident
to
in my life.
ABC. It's just like that
Yeah,
was
the same.
Please.
Yeah, the same is not the
No,
same
no,
as God's
God's power, ABC.
You
Yeah, so-
know. So the New Year goals, New Year resolutions, it's come to stay. People start the year, and I remember someone saying the gym is always full in January and empty in July. You know, people set goals that body goals, December body,
Oh, yeah.
August body.
Yes.
We don't have the body, so we don't aim for anybody. So that's how it goes. But when you hear them, like Baba was saying, you hear someone say their resolution, and you're asking yourself, is it a long-term goal or it is this year's resolution?
Yeah.
Then it begins to sound like a joke.
Yeah.
You are not serious about what you're saying.
Yeah, that makes me wonder that is the thing about New Year's resolution. Is it just an excuse for procrastination? Is it?
Is it an excuse
It's for just
procrastination?
procrastination.
You know, I said that someone educated me on New Year resolutions.
Okay.
I used to do that every year. I used to sit down, especially on the 31st night, my two good friends, we sit at the same place, and when service is over, we share our New Year resolution. Then he opened a scripture to me, and I want to read to you.
wow.
Ecclesiastes 5:1.
Okay.
Then the Bible says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools,
Hey.
for they consider not that they do evil. Verse 2 says, be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and you are on earth. So let your words be few. Verse 3 says, for a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by the multitude of his words.
Hey. Smart
So
way to
And the
pay.
church say
This
amen.
makes it
Amen.
very, very easy. Your dream can only come to light through multitude of business, as in doing of activities and not the multitude of words. So someone can have 32 New Year resolutions. I will read 100 books. I will attend church regularly. I will not miss weekly services. I would find a boyfriend.
Hey.
All those things are just words. You keep saying them before God. You keep saying that this year I won't do this again. This year I won't visit my ex again. This year I won't do this again. Then on the 3rd of January, you are sitting in your ex-boyfriend.
Say it again.
So does it become a goal,
Yeah,
or
or
now
a
it
gimmick.
becomes like a gimmick,
Gimmick.
like you are joking around? So even if we should take this as a premise of discussion, you realize that do not be in a rush to say certain things. All right, let your words be few, and let the business of the day show. What are you really doing? Are you just setting the goals because everyone else is also setting their goals, or you're setting the goals because you are actually ready to discipline yourself to it? So it is not a mode of procrastination. It's just a cliche. It's just a trend. It's just something that people just want to belong to. Me too, my New Year resolution is this. Me too, I will lose 20 pounds. Me too, I will do this. Me too, I will... That's just you not being ready to actually do the work. There are people who don't announce it, and you see that they've lost weight. How did they do it? They went to work.
Yeah.
They were not just saying it.
Okay.
But with regards to what you're saying, I think for those that New Year's resolution has helped, they would, for me, for example, I didn't have big goals. Let's say I don't like spending on myself. So I decided, okay, this year I'll do well to treat my hair, to have a better hairstyle and have a better representation of myself. That was my New Year's resolution for the whole year. Because if I don't put my mind to it, I might become reluctant. And with my mediocre activities, like I go to the salon just regularly, but being intentional about it, I realized, okay, my hair has become better as against the previous year, which was 2023. So I feel like it's not about the New Year's resolution being the problem,
Okay.
but what you've put before yourself, yes. Because I can say, okay, I'll be kind to people this year, because, or I'll be more open to love because maybe I'm 30.
Wow.
So with such a mindset, that's my New Year resolution. When someone comes my way, I won't be as tough as I used to be. So with that aspect too, I think it will help with me planning and me taking action on what I've planned on, not just hiding it under my pillow. And when the guys come, I'm being rude.
I still
Obviously,
open, you are closed.
and now I've closed because somebody has come. So now, yes,
Okay.
A resolution
yes,
is
it
resolution.
has resoluted with me very well. So I believe that's my take on it. Yes.
Well, I also believe that setting goals also helps the individual in a way where it motivates the person. Like you read, it's not just about words, but putting in effort. Doing that also in a way motivates you to do something which is worthwhile, not just for the cliche that, okay, everyone is putting down or listing stuff as New Year resolution. So also let me also follow the trend without knowing what you actually want to achieve.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think that looking at it from the perspective of, okay, New Year's resolutions are an excuse for procrastination. Looks like how is the person approaching the resolution?
Yeah.
Is it that you're supposed to do something? I think Smart said something about that you're supposed to do something, but you go like, okay, December, we're already in December. Okay, let me just do it next year. Then you break everything and try to resume activities in next year because you have an excuse of a New Year's resolution. Yes, when you approach it that way, the New Year's resolutions are becoming an excuse for what? Procrastination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you need to set a goal, why wait till
So
next
next
January?
year.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The goal is for you.
Exactly.
So why wait
So
till
it's not
next
you.
January?
Yeah.
You can't wait till next January.
We have another question here saying, does certain resolutions imply you are unhappy with who you are? Because I think it goes in line with what you are saying. Why wait?
So it depends on the perspective. Someone may not be happy with the way the year ended for them, like you're saying. So they set realistic goals.
Yeah.
Okay, this time around, I had too many things happening
At a
around me.
goal, exactly.
So let me focus more. Let me be more lenient on myself instead of being too hard on myself. So it depends on the kind of goals you're setting for yourself. As an individual, you're looking at it like, oh, I'm not happy with the fact that I didn't learn more. I'm not happy that I didn't read more books. I'm not happy that I went to these functions and I wasn't open, like she was saying. I was too up to myself. I didn't allow anybody to say hi to me. I never said hi to someone. So I will try more to be sociable because it will build my network base.
Yeah.
So then you know that you are not happy with something, not just yourself. You're not happy with something happening in your life.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you are taking steps to resolve that particular problem. So it does not necessarily mean the human being is not happy with themselves.
Yeah.
They are not happy with the results they are getting.
Okay.
So what do? We need to work on getting better results than we have gotten in the previous year. As I sit here, I've already planned my 2025. I didn't have to wait for January to say, okay, now we are in a new year. So I believe strongly that the December thing, like I said earlier, off air, it's just a deception that December ends a year. So it puts a lot of people into January to plan.
Yeah.
Why not take that decision now? That is my question.
Exactly. Exactly. I believe that people, it's not normally because someone is unhappy, but I think it could be from a keyword which is maybe unsatisfaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe companies do set goals and they would want to achieve more. It doesn't mean they are not happy with that result that they achieve. If we remember, Pastor Mensa Otabil, he used to have this advert on TV3, Living Word. Back then, scientists don't manufacture analytically. They discover. It means that kind of, with that particular video, it gets to a part he spoke a little bit about success. And he said something like, success is not something you do once, but something you do repeatedly. Exactly. So if you have achieved one, it means that you want to go to the next level.
Okay.
Exactly. So I don't really think it's because people are unhappy, but maybe it comes from a desire to always achieve more.
Okay.
It stems from a desire to be hungry for success and achieve, not be a mediocre, but achieve more success. But Smart also did rightly say that it can also be that they are not really happy with some, personality-wise, some people are not really happy with their behavior traits and all that, and they want to correct it. Yeah.
So with that, it means that the person sets these goals to improve.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you see, that the striking thing is that most of these resolutions, they fail within weeks.
Yeah.
They just fail within weeks. So what would we say? What exactly went wrong?
I feel like regardless of the fact that some fail within weeks, the fact that you were able to make it happen is worth celebrating, because then you sit back and when you're doing a self-assessment, you ask yourself, how was I able to achieve this? Why did I stop? What was stopping me? And what can I do to maybe start all over again? Because if, let's say, you wanted to run a 100-meter race, and you don't start, you will never know you have the ability to actually run. When you run and you stop in the middle, perhaps you did not train. Do you understand? So now you go back, do your research, then you know, okay, if I train once a week, twice a week, perhaps my speed will increase. So I think it's worth the try. Yes,
Okay.
it's worth the
And
try.
with that, the person has the willpower to work
Exactly.
towards to achieve what he or she has set for the year.
I had gym goals.
Hey,
You had gym goals this
Any
year.
minute. So I had
Did you
gym
even
goals.
visit?
Yeah, I visited, I think once. I bought the dumbbells and all that, but my problem was instability. I'll be moving to and fro Accra and Kumasi and all that. So it's kind of affected how I could even locate a gym or something. Yeah, but I have started this year. I have started
you
before
see,
I entered.
I'm glad you even brought
Yeah.
this up, because this is where the problem is. If any person wants to look for excuse, they will get it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
In the sense that you are commuting between Accra
Accra
and
and
Kumasi.
Kumasi.
It's a perfect excuse. Everyone is supposed to even understand that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I also have friends. I have realized that in my destiny, there is no gym.
Yeah.
So I have decided that I'm not signing up anywhere because they might deceive me and take my money. I have accepted what God has done in my life. You get me?
Yeah.
But people have applications
Yeah.
on their phone that leads them to work out.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily go
That's
to
To the
true.
gym.
Yeah.
And there are TV stations today that in the early hours of the day, around 5 to 6,
Turn it on and then they are
you
working
turn it
out.
on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you can do that.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, I agree with you. Oh,
You don't
but- and
necessarily have to sign up
The,
here.
And
the
I
good
mean-
thing is that, sorry, but the good thing is that there's one thing I've studied, that it's not really about entering the year, but starting it before you enter the
Starting
year.
it.
So
Starting
I was having a conversation with a friend last week, and I was telling him that, look, I've started 2025 now
Already.
That was even in November. Yes, I had started 2025 because I felt the zeal to start the things I've already slated to do. So this, I have a dumbbell, so I'm using it now.
That's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have any excuse. And the funny thing is, I would rather send one dumbbell to Kumasi. So when I get home, I have one.
Yeah.
I don't have that excuse. I was okay, I don't have the dumbbell here, so what's up here?
Okay, so Adante, based on that, I would like to find out, should resolutions be private or shared to increase accountability with your dumbbells?
I have one funny. It's not a funny thing anyway. I have an experience with that.
Okay.
Prior to 2024, a certain friend or a follower, we follow each other on Twitter. I think Media Queen. She's from Nigeria.
Eish.
She created an accountability group for us, and we shared our goals together, and I think that within the first part of the year, it was consistent. I mean, we were consistent with it. We spoke about it. We even meet and pray and a whole lot. So I initially I felt it was very empowering, because you hear someone's story, it empowers you and all that. On that note, I believe that there are some aspects of your New Year's resolution that should be public, so that it can improve or it can invite accountability to yourself.
Okay.
If I sit here and say some things, at the end of the day, a lot lot of people,
will
they
be
say
expecting
posterity
it.
will judge you. A lot of people are going to expect you to deliver on all those promises you made to your own self. So you have no excuse than to deliver upon it. So if there are some private resolutions, maybe you don't really want to put out the money you were on to make at the end of the year out there for private reasons, that's fine.
Yeah.
That one can be your own thing. But there are some general resolutions that I think that you should invite someone to, control or, be accountable for it.
Okay.
I think
Baba.
if it's not very realistic, you will not really get good feedback when you put it out there. Myself, for example, I wanted to lose weight, but I had one full pack of Nutella, chocolate spread that I finished. So I told my brother I want to lose weight, and he was like, "You're not serious. You cannot lose weight with this in front of you." So it really discouraged me.
That food makes you gain weight.
Yes, it's chocolate. It's
Send
sweet.
it my way.
So with such a thing, telling him was not a motivation. However, he realized that, okay, I'm down. And he said, okay, then I can help you. Don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat that. But for someone who doesn't get someone like my brother to help me by taking active steps, but is always criticizing you, you are eating too much, you are eating too small, it's very discouraging. Do you understand? So I feel getting it out there depends on what exactly you are working on and who exactly you are trying to make your accountability partner. That's very important.
And based on what you are saying, I'm also, I believe that once you share the ones that are shareable, you tend to get help.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
get
Yes.
help.
Yes.
Because relating it to the chocolate, maybe chocolate makes you bigger.
Yes.
Someone, it wouldn't be so.
Exactly.
But you saying that your brother realized that, okay, chocolate will not be good for you, so he helped you.
Exactly.
So in some other things that are shareable, I think once we do that, we get to get the right help to make us achieve the set goals.
Yes, that's why the public declaration must be defined. Are you declaring it to a team, or you are just putting it on your Facebook? So some people can go that public. So how public are you going with whatever that you are saying? So like with his team, I think that's a brilliant way to check yourselves. If we decided to read 4 books in a month or 3 books in a month, we meet every Sunday to review the book we read. So if you join and you've not read, Ivy, we all can tell that you
Yeah.
have not read.
Yeah.
So what do you need to do to pick up? Then you get the help that you're looking for,
Exactly.
especially if it's a small community. But if you put it out there, if you put it out on your Facebook, who becomes your accountability
Exactly.
partner?
Yeah, everyone.
You know,
just
nobody
needs to
really
see.
would be calling you if it's just out there. Like if you're sharing it with me, Baba says, Charlie Smart, check on me. Every Saturday, I want to go and run at Ayi Mensa. So every Saturday, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Charlie, are you there?
Baba, are you
Or
there?
You are sleeping. Then it makes the accountability easy. But if you
Yes.
just put it out there, you are not making someone keep an eye on you.
Exactly.
So you must intentionally create a team that, okay, see, Charlie guy, this year we must increase our, like the financial thing you talked about. Our savings must move from one figure to double figures. What do you think? What can we do to make it work?
Yeah.
So Charlie, how is it going? Are you saving enough? Are you doing this? You are able to put a check on each other instead of just
Yeah.
putting it.
Yeah,
blank
maybe
outside.
maybe enterprise can help by creating an accountability group this year for us.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
that's a
very
good
interesting.
idea.
Yeah,
We
but
got you. We got
how
you.
do you think we can set realistic goals or achievable goals?
I would use the SMART acronym. He's sitting right
Yeah.
here. So be specific. Let it be measurable.
Measurable.
Let it be achievable.
Yeah.
Let it be relevant. Let it be time bound.
Yeah.
So if I want to lose weight because most people want to lose weight every year. So how much is it? 10 kilogram you want to lose? Achievable, measurable. Will I go to the gym? Will I eat a certain amount of food? Achievable. How much should I eat per day? How many minutes should I spend in the gym? Relevant. Is it because somebody is laughing at me? Is it because I want to stay healthy? Is it because I want to show my ex? What is the reason behind this goal you have set?
Is it my body?
And time bound. You could say, okay, for the next 5 months,
Yeah.
I want to achieve this. With that, you have a plan that when you get an accountability partner who allows you to be yourself, encourages you, I believe that at the end of 5 months, you'll be celebrating a milestone.
Yeah.
It's the definition for me. For most people, like she said, they are not small enough to be achieved. So people always confuse a plan with a vision, a goal with a target.
Gosh.
So the year has started, and you are saying that the pastor says, you will build your house, then you claim it. Okay?
receive
You have
it.
claimed something that you know in your life as you sit. There are no variables that can contribute to what you have just claimed.
Miracles.
So you must. Can we take it step by step?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm acquiring a land this year. I would acquire a land this year. So at the back of your mind, it's not the house, it is the land.
Yeah.
If the house comes, fine.
Hallelujah.
Because you can hit a business, a project next month and your financial status can change. That is understood. But then year, that is why it's referred to as a goal in the resolution. What is the goal? So like she said, she will be more open to love. She didn't say she will marry. She will be more open to love. So it means that now we are moving from a place where people perceived us to be cold or rude, now to be receptive, to accept people's conversations and all that. So people should know that it is the goals that you set for yourself. When you begin to hit your target, if it's according to your plan, you are reaching your vision.
Yeah.
So what is the New Year resolution? What is the goal? The goal is that this year I will sign up to a gym. That's just it. But if you say, Charlie, I'll show my ex, I will do this, I'll do that. It's not well defined.
Yeah.
And most people don't know that it is definition that directs decisions. How you define a thing will determine how you go about it.
Wow.
You understand me? The way everybody will define something, so your goal is, my New Year resolution, I'll be rich. If it means stealing together,
You
would
would
you
have
not
to
steal?
do it, yes.
Yeah.
If it means duping people to get there, you will dupe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it involves fraud, you will do it.
Yeah.
So how are you defining, how are you going to get rich? Maybe you're going to scale up your business.
Yeah.
I used to serve 20 customers. How will I serve 50 customers this year? That's realistic.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Then you can get the help that Ivy was talking about.
With what you are talking about,
Yeah.
then we can ask ourselves that are financial resolutions harder to keep than maybe other resolutions?
In this aesthetic world, that everybody is doing things for aesthetics.
Yeah.
People are visiting restaurants because of how they look.
Yes.
People are dating people because of how they look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Financial resolutions are not difficult to hold.
Exactly.
I believe strongly that one of the things most people have not mastered is the art of saying no. This thing is so difficult for most people because for young people, everything is yes. Now, I listened to a man say, whenever you say yes to something, you are saying no to another thing. So I call you, Charlie, Anante. Charlie, some chill up for Blue Resort.
I did come.
You did come.
You
But
did there
at that
already.
time, you may not have planned
Yeah.
Exactly.
for it. And you cannot always be waiting for me to pay before you drink.
No.
And you know, sometimes people are at parties, they can't go home because the one who brought them is not ready to leave. So the financial resolutions we are setting for ourselves is when one decides that I need to master the art of saying no sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you're stepping into something you probably have not planned for.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, there would be an expenditure there. You are going to spend.
Yeah.
Is it something I'm willing to do? You are on campus. You're going for lectures. You're going to eat. Is it necessary to take Uber? Were you going to the bus stop 2 years ago? Was it working? Were you getting to your destination?
What
changed?
What changed?
What changed?
And I have a lady friend who says, Smart, as for me, if I don't get a car, I don't step out. I said, well, it's your business. Because, you know, when you were using 100 CDs to do something that you were using 15 CDs to do,
Yeah.
it means that you have a problem.
Yes.
So lifestyle matters. It's not difficult to hold. Financial resolutions, they are not difficult, my brother. But it depends on the factors playing on you.
Yeah.
You know, friends are doing it. Oh, me, I can't walk to the bus stop. I went to school at GIJ. All right, I school at GIJ. And walking from the campus to the police headquarters is a distance. So some people begin to say, no, me, I will order a ride. We, what do? We
walk.
look for other walker bees. And we walk to the
Galley plus them.
headquarters.
And you
Yeah.
all arrive at the
You
same
will all arrive at
destination.
the same place.
So
Yeah.
with that,
So
you are
it's
saying
about-
that we are, for financial resolutions,
Yeah.
we should center on what we need
Yes.
and not what we want
At present,
at present.
what can your lifestyle afford? Not what you desire. Because you see, when it comes to money, we don't do what we want. We do what we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
What you want is always there. When you look at me, do you know what I want?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
do
very
you know
true.
what I
'Cause you know
want?
what?
Like now.
I have a friend who has I don't know, but I think that all of a sudden there has been a new development for a new taste, and currently you see her and then she has sent clothes to the laundry to do her laundry for her
Yeah.
and all that, and you see the bill is around 100 CDs, 160 CDs, is around 200 CDs.
Yes.
And it's not just once, it goes on twice. And then by the time you realize, maybe you've gone to the laundry for about 10 times, maybe every week for 10 weeks. So you're hovering around 1,500, 2,000 Ghana
Precisely,
cedis.
that's good
Right.
calculation.
And I asked, what do you do that you can't wash your clothes yourself? Said, oh, Nancy, my busy, my tight, and all that. I visited around and I realized that you wake up and pray, right, by 5 a.m. But you go back to bed and wake up around 10 a.m. So you could have used that time to wash. It's not like you, even though you are busy from that time, from 10 a.m., but you have a virtually free time interval that you can do your own washing and all that. So if you develop an insatiable taste, if you develop something that I don't know, whether because of the pressure of social media, you want to live a different life, it becomes very difficult. Talking about Bolt and Uber, when you could work, when you could offer, you could use Trusty.
Yeah.
The problem is not doing it once. The problem is
It's
when
becoming
it
a
becomes
habit.
consistent, then it starts
Exactly.
to become a problem on your bills, on
Exactly.
your bank account. So that is something that they should look out for if they are setting financial goals.
And you know, with financial goals and setting, enterprise trustees has something which we do, which we say that start early, start
Okay.
small, right?
Start
Yes.
early,
Start
start small.
early,
Okay.
start
And
small.
with what you're saying, people could sign up to our EPP scheme where
Exactly.
they can have an automated savings deal with the company.
Yeah.
So me, for example, before my salary hits my account, they've deducted 300 cedis
Okay.
per what I earn, and that's so much sacrifice I have made per what I earn.
And-
If you come and ask me to go and party, there's no way what is left, I might have not budgeted for it. There's no way I would say, yes, let's go. Do you understand? So if people have this automated savings account with, let's say, enterprise, I believe before their salary come, they know what they can and cannot do for that month.
It's true.
Yes.
I have one, and it's the same 300 CDs. It started around last year, it's getting to 2 years. It will end in March 2025, and we did an estimation. We wanted to cash it out, but we did an estimation and realized, okay, the amount of money that you're expected to get when it matures is good. So okay, why don't you just continue? So
Wow.
yeah.
So these are the little things that some people are not privy to.
Yeah.
They've not learnt about automation. They've not learnt about savings. They've not learnt about investment. So they are pay as you go. Then the money comes, they spend, they move. The money comes, they spend, they move. But you see, an urgency on your side does not constitute an emergency on my side. And it's one of the things that young people must know about finances. The fact that someone needs something urgently shouldn't become your emergency.
You need my money urgently.
You need my money urgently.
Yeah, the pressure they'll put on you.
Charlie, it's urgent. Oh.
Hey, it's urgent.
I need it urgently.
Yes, but although the conversation is really getting interesting, so unfortunately, too, our time is also catching up with us.
But let's find out this one quickly before the time wraps up. When people set up New Year resolution, do you think they should also plan for fun?
Yes,
Very important.
very important.
We are human beings.
Very necessary.
Someone will say important.
Important.
It's very
It
important
is very
because
important.
I did same. I planned for a vacation with Bay. Yeah, but it didn't come up because we broke up. Yeah, it ended in tears.
Hey.
But
You planned for something which didn't happen.
New Year resolution.
yeah, it was
ended
my
in
New Year's
tears.
resolution, oh, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So it wasn't because I didn't do it, but I am far. So that is it. I think if you want, you have to inculcate fun in your. It's not supposed to be always work. Oh, I want to travel outside Ghana. It can be a New Year.
Well, you can start with Adam.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah.
Go, you want to travel
If you don't
within
have
Ghana.
ticket money.
Yeah.
You can start with Volta
you get
region,
it.
Cape Coast.
Yeah, then you are proceeding to the rest of
Yeah.
West Africa.
Ah.
Yeah, then exploring Africa. Then you off you go. So I think that you should also inculcate. Personally, I like traveling. I've been to several regions this particular year.
Okay.
Northern region.
Hey.
I've been to Western Central. I've traveled.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this particular year.
All right. So let's try and wrap up with
Yeah,
our
So
final
to
words.
add up with what he's saying, with the fun, you don't always have to do something big. I have fun by joining groups.
Okay.
So my uni alumni, we are going here. The rate is very cool, and everything I would have spent on is provided.
Okay.
So I have fun in that way, and trust me, I enjoy myself. So I think that too happens. Birthday parties, something that you don't spend too much with groups, it helps.
Okay.
That's what
Smart,
I'll
your
say.
final
So
thought.
everything should be holistic as a human being. When you're planning your life, you're setting New Year resolutions for yourself. Have a bit of everything.
Okay.
Do a bit of your career. Do a bit of your spiritual life. Do a bit of your fun life. That is your social life. Inculcate family. You know, there are people who don't check on their family that much. So maybe your New Year resolution is, I'll try and call my parents more, or I'll
Yeah.
try and get in touch with my siblings more.
Yeah.
And also, you set a goal for your relationship. Maybe once a year I will travel with Bay.
Oh.
You know,
Very
like
important.
Andante.
Very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Yes.
I'll
But this
get
time
to-
it's not going to end in tears.
No, it's not going to
no,
end
no,
in
it
tears.
was
Not
fair.
at all. Even if it ends in tears, babe, we planned the trip before we
Yes, yes, yes.
The trip
You
must
would have
happen.
to go before you break up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. You go before you wake up.
Very, very
Yeah.
necessary.
Okay. So to our viewers, we would love to hear from you and also know your take on our discussion today. Okay, so before we go, we do have a tongue twister challenge. A tongue twister challenge with R for resolutions.
R and L for no.
Smart,
Yeah.
please take us away.
It says reaffirm resolutions, rarely reassets resolve.
Period.
I think he took it too slow, so I'll
Too
try
slow.
going fast.
Okay,
Hey.
2 seconds faster.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Reaffirmed resolutions, rarely reassess, resolve.
Hey.
Nice.
All right.
Now yours will be 3 seconds.
Let's see. Reaffirm resolutions, really reassess, resolve.
Okay.
Okay.
Attempt. Reaffirm resolutions really reassess resolve.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is where we bring the curtains to today's episode on Young and Invested. I have been your humble host, Ivy Wilson, and we have had.
Smart teaching Nixon.
Baba Simpson.
And Dante.
And until we come your way again, we say, stay young and invested. Afishiapa.